Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 of the best class setups to use on the GRAU. We're going to be comparing them head to head, breaking down the 2 long barrels, the Nexus and the Archangel, telling you guys which barrel is better and why, and actually breaking down the stats and telling you guys why I personally prefer one barrel over the other, as well as looking at the best attachments to use to give you guys the best class setups and the best stats for the GRAU. And like I said, breaking down those 3 class setups and why I chose to pick everything with it. Basically breaking down the 4 main attachments you guys are going to use in order to give you guys the best overall recoil pattern as well as the best mobility for the GRAU. So the difference between the GRAU and every other gun in the game in this rifle category is it has a 97% movement speed, which is SMG level, and the aim down sight time is the fastest out of all the ARs. So the best thing about the GRAU is the mobility. And as far as the accuracy, it's only vertical. This has one of the best recoil patterns, easiest to control out of every gun in the game. The 2 class setups we're going to break it down is basically the mobility class setup versus the accuracy class setup. Which attachment is more important to you, getting a faster aim down sight time and faster movement speed, or getting a better overall accuracy? So if you guys do enjoy today's video, you guys want to leave a like, I would greatly appreciate it. As well as 97% of you guys that are going to watch this video have not yet subscribed. So if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, and I want to ask you guys up front is which is more important to you, to have a better accurate weapon or to have a more mobile weapon that aims down sight and moves faster? So like I said, we're showcasing the 3 different class setups. All of them are going to include the 60-round mag for a specific reason, the commando foregrip, which helps with the stabilization, which gives it the best recoil pattern, and then obviously the monolith suppressor. So basically breaking down the 2 barrels first, this is probably the biggest thing to note on why people like the GRAU. You guys can see on the screen all the different barrels and iron sights the GRAU has, which is unique to this weapon. Putting a different barrel will give it a different iron sight, and that's probably the main reason why people pick the Archangel, is the iron sight is excellent. I do like the Nexus a lot, but the difference in the overall stats of the weapons, the Archangel is going to get 45% more range, a 30% slower aim down sight time, 5% slower movement, and a little less of a vertical recoil pattern than the Nexus. The Nexus is going to get 40% more range, 15% slower aim down sight time, and only 3% slower movement. So you guys can see the range is not much of a difference. The aim down sight and the movement speed is a big difference, which is the reason I personally prefer the Nexus barrel. So you take a look at those ranges and actually put them into real game. You guys take a look, the base range of the Archangel is 44 meters. The base range of the Nexus is 42 meters. You're literally talking about a 2-meter difference, which in game you wouldn't even notice. The Archangel is going to get a 20% worse aim down sight time and a 2% slower movement speed when you put those 5 attachments on it. So that has a massive effect, in my opinion, on the overall stats of your best class setup, which is the reason I choose the Nexus. So the 3 class setups, we're going to take a look at it. You guys will see on the screen right now. We have the same class setup. This time we're going with the no stock attachment, which is going to give you guys the best mobility. And then we have the 2 long barrels, the Nexus and the Archangel. So the difference between these 2 class setups, you guys will see again on the screen now, is with the Nexus barrel, you're only going to get a 2% slower movement speed, only a 10% slower aim down sight time. So your movement speed is still 95%, which is excellent, and only a 250 millisecond aim down sight time, which is actually still fast for assault rifles, and 50% more range, which is an excellent increase. With that Archangel barrel, you're obviously going to get 4% slower movement speed, which makes your movement speed now lower level AR, and a 25% slower aim down sight time, which is now lower level AR aim down sight time, for only 5% more range. And that's the biggest difference between picking the 2 barrels, as your overall mobility goes down by a lot. So when you put that best class setup, aiming for the best overall accuracy, instead of putting that no stock attachment on there, which is going to give you a lot more vertical recoil, we're going to put the tac laser on there, which is an excellent attachment for the GRAU. So we're taking that monolith suppressor, the 60-round mag, the obviously Nexus barrel, the commando, and the tac laser. What that's going to give you is a 7% slower movement speed, which is obviously pretty massive. But your aim down sight time is still going to be fast. The fastest out of all these rifles, no effect on the aim down sight time. And obviously, your movement speed is at 90% now, which is LMG level, but is still not that bad. Aim down sight time still fastest. What that gives you is 0 idle sway, and increased your walking steadiness, and obviously that increased your aim down sight time, which helps to negate all those negatives. So this is the best accuracy class setup I 100% recommend for you guys. So I'll only break down all the attachments now to basically tell you the reasons why there's 4 main attachments you guys should be picking, and the reason why. The first and most important one is actually the 60 round mag. On every other gun in the game, switching from 50 to 60 makes your movement speed 2% slower. On the GRAU in specific, it's only going to make your movement speed 1% slower to get those extra 10 bullets. And obviously the GRAU already has the fastest mobility. And as far as talking about the attachments, the first thing to note is the accuracy has 4 different categories. You have your recoil control, your stabilization, your obviously idle switch, your stability, and your steadiness. The steadiness has a big effect on weapons that use the default reticle on, which is every person uses the default reticle on the GRAU because they're so nice. So I 100% recommend going for the steadiness on the GRAU, which is going to 100% help your accuracy. So the tack laser and the granulated are the 2 best attachments to include to stack with that Commando foregrip. So what the tack laser is going to shoot for is obviously the accuracy and the mobility. It's the biggest hybrid between the both. You're going to get a 10% faster aim down sight time, better idle sway, and better walking steadiness. So your first shot accuracy is going to be increased as far as while you're shooting. Your accuracy is going to be increased, and you get a faster aim down sight time. This is probably the #1 attachment I recommend in Warzone. Obviously, if you're playing multiplayer, you want to look for an attachment that's not going to have the laser. That's the granulated grip tape. Same thing is the tack laser. You just don't lose the improvement on the aim down sight time, obviously, but it's probably one of the best attachments I recommend for the GRAU. It stacks very well with the barrel and the Commando together to give you every single increase to your accuracy across the board. And then the rubberized grip tape is going to give you the least amount of vertical recoil for a worse idle sway, which you guys can see on the screen right now, the difference between the class setups with the no stock, with the rubberized, and obviously with the granulated. You guys can see rubberized on the left, granulated in the middle, and no stock on the right. You guys can see the recoil patterns a little bit worse vertically, but with the rubberized making your idle sway worse, which the GRAU is a long range, medium range weapon. I think it's good to give you less vertical, but the other attachments in my opinion are going to give you more. And the last attachment's obviously the no stock. Your vertical is going to be obviously a little bit more, and probably not as much as I was expecting. Obviously you get a worse idle sway as well, which is once again countered by the Commando. So you basically get 4% faster movement and a 15% faster movement speed, which helps keep that GRAU still being itself and being the fastest mobility. So obviously, like I said, I've been testing the GRAU and I've been trying so many different things, and I actually recently, my class setup, I'm running the granulated grip tape now with the 60 round mag, which before I was running usually something different. So I'm aiming for the accuracy now with the GRAU. I picked the granulated now over the no stock attachment just because it gives me a better accuracy. And obviously the 60 round mag gives me a little bit more ammo for a little bit slower movement speed. So that is my new class setup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully this does help you make a better GRAU class. You know, pick what is the best attachments for you. I truly believe the Archangel has an excellent recoil pattern. It's a little bit better, but the idle sway, not the idle sway, the default reticle is a little bit better. So it's definitely an excellent attachment. Not that big a difference, honestly, in my opinion, because you're getting a big difference versus like on any other gun. If you switch the barrels, you're not switching the actual default reticle, and it actually does get a little bit less recoil. So it's definitely recommended to use both. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys use code Trapgod on all of your SCUF and GFUEL purchases, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.